Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. My thoughts. It's a big loss for the Republicans. One thing that happened is Gen Z showed up. That's the folks who were born after about 2020. They vote heavily Democrat. Largely ignored, my impression is largely ignored by Republicans. Dismissed. Well, except that their votes count. When you get the vote out with them, you're getting out the Democratic vote. How do you reach those people? Well, first of all, you have to decide those votes are important. Clearly they are. I wonder how much money was spent by the Republican machine with TikTok and the influencers of Instagram. Probably very little, if any at all. And you might say, well, there are really no conservative influencers on TikTok and Instagram. Well, then, might be time to start that process. You got 2 years until the next election. Go pour $10 million into this, just as seed money to get it started, because you need some influencers there. That's where this generation of voters get their information. That's where they get their ideas of who to vote for. If you're not there, you are ceding the battleground to the opposition. Simple. Just it is. I think the Republicans hugely underestimated the importance of the abortion issue. What you do about that, it's a whole other thing, and we can have that discussion sometime, but that's probably not for this show. But I think that was a major factor. The early voting, oh my gosh. Republicans have got to get on board on this. We can't be the buggy whip party out there and keep saying, well, that's just, that's a bad idea. Early voting, mail-in voting, blah, blah, blah. Come on. It's here. You can win, you can lose, and then you can whine. You got to stop whining. You got to start winning. And if this is the rules of the game. If you ignore the rules of the game, you're going to lose every single time. You got to get on board. You got to get out the vote mechanism going for early voting, for mail-in balloting, for whatever it is. And, can I just suggest that a lot of our folks get off of the internet for a little while and stop living in the echo chamber of the stolen vote world? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But you know what? It doesn't matter at this point. It doesn't matter at this point. You got to figure out how to win within the rules that are here. The rules are set up. And if you're not playing to win, if you're trying to play by the old rules and just saying, oh, those guys cheat. That's like the wide receiver says, oh, he was interfering with me. Yeah, that's what they do here. You still got to win. You still got to catch the ball. That's just how the game's played. And then there's the very big elephant in the Republican room. That's Donald Trump. You probably at this point know how I feel about Donald Trump. How many people have you heard say, yeah, love his policies, don't really like the man? That's me. But more than that now, he needs to go away. Yeah, I know, just lost a bunch of listeners. Bunch of people. Oh my God, Tom's going to the dark side. He needs to go away. Because, he's a steady 40%er, which means he's a steady loser. His candidates were terrible. Terrible. The people he picked. He's a petulant 6-year-old stamping his feet and holding his breath until he turns blue because he's not as relevant as he wants to be. He also serves as a particularly effective lightning rod to get out the vote for the Democrats. It just does. I mean, you could say it shouldn't be that way. All of that's just nonsense. All of that's just silly stuff. Just is. If you want to mobilize Democrats to vote, if you want to mobilize people who like to ban guns to vote, You just let Donald Trump run for office again. Guaranteed 100% loser. And there it is. So that's the my quick postmortem on this. What happens from here? I don't know. If the people who run the Republican Party have the will to make the kind of changes that have to happen to operate in the world of 2024. Don't know. I guess we'll find out. All in all, we won some, and if we have the House, we'll be able to prevent gun bills from going through. If we lose the House, then the filibuster is in trouble. I know it's a Senate deal, but just take my word on that. That's a whole nother deal there. It's not a good situation. The bright spot in all of this, and there's a bright spot, is that we got Bruin. The Bruin decision stops an awful lot of this stuff. We have a number of people who were elected to office, governors who say, yes, we're going to institute an assault weapon ban. We're going to ban semi-automatic guns. We're going to ban this. We're going to ban that. I think, I hope, knock wood, I hope and I think that the Bruin decision out of the Supreme Court prevents that from happening. We shall see as we go forward. We shall see what happens to Measure 114 out of Oregon. We shall see about a lot of this stuff. But as of right now, no one who's being honest about it thinks that this was a big win for Republicans. The red wave did not appear. And for us on the gun rights side, it means we got to work harder. We have to donate money. That means writing checks, people. We have to show up. We have to stand up. We have to get serious about this. Otherwise, as I say, you cede the battleground to your opponents.